Hello everyone, welcome back to the XSP Green Monster channel. I am back working on the Suburban. Today I'm going to be doing the ignition system on it, so I'm going to be doing a full tune-up on it, spark plug cap, spark plug rotor, distributor, spark plug wires, and spark plugs. So I'm going to start in here, so we're going to be taking off the air box and then this tube so I have better access from both sides. So I'll put you guys up and then I will go through that. That is just those clamps and then this one twist bolt right there, and then that whole thing will come off. Okay, so once the intake is removed from your truck, then you can remove the distributor cap in the back, which is a T20 Torx, and there are two T20s on either side of the distributor cap. One in the back, one in the front. What are you doing, Kyle?
I ain't doing nothing. It's Clay.
Doing something. Oh. Now once those are removed, the cap should come off. There you go. And now I'm going to remove all the spark plug wires from either side of the engine so we can pull the whole assembly out of the vehicle.
Promise to be there in every single way. We're doing this together, every step we take. Closer to each other, so much to discover. Getting lost with you. Getting lost.
Okay, so once they're all disconnected, you can take the cap and rotor here. And you should just be able to pull it up and out. Got it. And plug that one in. Okay, got it now. Okay, so you're going to take a T15 Torx and undo the two bolts on the top of the distributor cap. And you just want, there's only two ways it can go on, so you just want to make sure this one was right here. So you can be 180 degrees off. But you want to make sure the new one goes on like that, and that's the old one. I believe you got new screws too for this. And just snug up those bolts, they don't need to be too tight. And with these distributors on these trucks, they just have to be within 10 degrees and the rotor itself can't actually spin, so you can do this without needing to retime the vehicle. Okay, so on my truck, since I have headers on this side, I had to get the header loose to fit that, to get to that last one right back there that you can see. You can't get anything on there without this header being loose. So we got all bolts out of that. It's loose now. My friend Clay over here is working on getting the other spark plugs in, and that's pretty the new ones. And that's simple. It's just put a little bit of the aluminum NICs on them and then put them back in. And yeah, so we're getting on it. I'll show you guys me putting in the spark plugs on this side once I get these ones out. Alright, so it's been a bit since I picked you guys up. The header gave us big trouble on this passenger side to get in the spark plugs. So you can see it in there. So that spark plug specifically was really a pain to get. Let me turn you on the manual focus. So that one right there was very difficult to get because you can see there's not that much clearance between the tip of the spark plug and the header. That's how close it is. So we had to take off the headers and then put them back on, but now all those spark plugs are in, and taking out spark plugs is pretty easy. I know I didn't show you guys too much, but basically you're going to take a spark plug tool like this one, and it has a, you can see it, there's a little magnet and a bearing in there inside of it, so that then it grabs the spark plug as you take it out. And you're just gonna take out the spark plugs, and then here are all my old ones right here. Here you go. So those are all my old spark plugs, and there was one that had a little bit of a weird gap, but the rest of them were all good. And when you put in your new spark plugs, you want to take a spark plug gapping tool and make sure that you get it to the right gap. So right here on mine, it says right there, spark plug gap 60 thousandths of an inch. So I gapped all my spark plugs 60 thousandths, and I put on some anti-seize lubricant onto the threads of the spark plug to make sure they don't get stuck in there. And you just want to snug them down in there until they're tight. You don't want to go any more than that. They don't need to be super tight. There's not a lot of pressure on them, and there's tons of threads, so you snug them down until they're tight, and that's good. So now I'm going to get the new rotor all set up. So there's the new rotor. You can see everything's nice and brassy in there. There you go, so everything's nice and brassy and new in there. See all the new stuff versus the old one. So this new one should do pretty good. And then these are the old spark plug wires. And these are the new spark plug wires. So 8mm versus 7mm wires. And I've got to get all those boots on too. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to clean off the tips of the spark plugs and put on some silicone grease. So that's going to be the next thing I do. I'm just going to set you guys up on tripod and I'll talk to you guys as I'm doing it. Okay, so I'm just going to take a clean paper towel. I'm just going to wipe down the end of all the spark plugs just to make sure that there isn't any contaminants on them from us touching them or anything. So next I'm just going to take some of this MSD spark guard, which is just plain silicone grease. They just have it labeled as spark guard, and I'm going to put some of this on the end of all of the spark plugs, and you're also going to want to put it inside the boots of the spark plug wires a little bit, and on the just on the boots of the spark plug wires. Just basically anywhere that has an electrical connection besides inside the distributor, you want this to be on that electrical connection.
Just keeps that moisture in.
Yeah. And it's a,
conductor.
Yeah, and it's conductive. That's a big
It's
thing.
electric, dielectric grease or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm just going to use the stock one to make sure that I get all of the other wires in the correct places. So, such as this one. And then I still need the silicone grease. Just take some of it and just put it in there. These sides are both the same. So this side, if you look on here, is going to go to that wire. Alright, and then if we look at these wire lengths, we see it goes short, a little bit longer than the first one, and the longest. So this one's for that side. Alright, so this one is just measuring against the other one, so this one goes into this one. Same thing, we're just going to take some silicone grease and just shove it in there. Bueno. Now this is just gonna go back into the car.
So you're carrying one of those predator things. Sucks off your face.
Okay, so the big camera died and I didn't realize it, but so once you get those boots on, you're just gonna slip the spark plugs over, spark plug wires over the spark plugs, like so. And you can see distributors back there now, and I just put on these little wire harness clips too. So that's what she's looking like. And I will go and try to start her up and show you guys what's going on. Running really good